Let's get this party started. 2023 is almost here, and I am going to help you build into you this year. One of the ways that I'm going to do it is by offering you a self-compassion course, a group coaching program for the homeschool mom who's challenged by her big emotions, who doesn't have a plan for her big emotions, does a whole lot more reacting than responding, who, when she hears someone say, you need to hold space for your child's big emotion, says, what are they talking about? I don't even know my own big emotions, and I don't hold space for mine. If you don't have a plan, well, as they say, the people perish, or at least there's a lot of turmoil in your home, a lot of struggle, a lot of frustration. That doesn't need to be. How do I know? Because I've been there, I've done that. So I've created a self-compassion for the Homeschool Mama group coaching program to instill strategies and practices that will help nurture you so you can learn how to deal with your big emotions and also your kids. In an intensive that I'll offer in early January of 2023, you will be equipped with practical strategies to address your big emotions, create space for you, mindfulness practices, and instill activities that you can use to nurture you and to figure out how to deal with your big emotions. Self-compassionate strategies. So you'll know this is for you if this is you. You don't know how to deal with your big emotions when your kid is having their big emotions. And you know you're making it worse in how you react. This was definitely me. You can't put a finger on it, but there's too many things going on and everything feels too much. This is the experience of overwhelm, too many feelings, and there's a reason I've written a lot on my website, Capturing the Charmed Life, about dealing with overwhelm, because I know it. Or maybe this is you. You want to show up as your best self, of course, rather than your tried and true practices like the not so useful patterns that you've already created and built into habits. And you've truly tried all the things, but nothing feels like it's getting to the heart of what's going on in your home or here. Maybe this is you. You understand that more is caught than taught. You've heard that a few times, and that concerns you. Or this is you. You don't feel supported to do this process with anyone else. And that's where I come in. Imagine if you were practiced in the pause. In other words, you practiced a pause before you reacted to your child. Imagine if you knew for certain that you were honoring your child in who they are as a separate person, and also being clear on your boundaries. Imagine if you had a plan to address your big emotions and you knew how to be proactive and responsive and not reactive the way you have been for quite some time. Imagine if you felt like you were enough and you could do this homeschool thing with confidence. Imagine if you felt supported. You were super clear in when to include self-compassion strategies and how they would actually benefit you practically. And imagine if you knew that you were teaching your child those strategies. You actually knew how to teach emotional regulation or how to engage it. Be present with your children in their big emotions and build healthy communication strategies in your home. So join me for the self-compassion for the Homeschool Mama intensive in early January. You can check the link in the comment section down below. You can ask me for more details, and I'm glad to chat with you. But you're going to learn throughout our time together in this coaching program that you're going to learn about my story. You're going to hear that straight up. If someone had talked to me about self-compassion strategies, I would have said, hell no, way too weird. It's not going to work. New agey. But then I spent years trying to or struggling to deal with my big emotions. Mostly I spent years trying to ignore them because I didn't have time for them. But when I was trying to deal with them and be proactive, I really just felt not good enough. So I didn't think it was possible for me to figure it out. And I was finally open to listening to something that might work because I hit a wall of frustration. One particular homeschool day. What could have possibly been frustrating me? Homeschooling 4 kids, younger little kids, one child that definitely didn't want to do things the way that I wanted to do them. There was a child that was being unkind, again, maybe to me, maybe to them, to each other. Maybe the kids were fighting, again. Nobody wanted to do the thing I'd so lovingly planned. The house was a mess, still is. I was feeling unsupported and disconnected from others. Oh, there were a couple things that contributed to that context. And I really wanted to text my husband, but since he wasn't responding that day, he was working in Emerge. He's a physician in Emerge. He wasn't responding, so that told me that he had a real emergency, and he wasn't able to access him because he had a real emergency, even if I was losing my stuff at home with my kids. So I had to figure out what else to do. So what did I do? Well, I tried to text a friend, of course. That's what I do. I tried to text a friend who was very supportive, but she wasn't busy that day. Or she was busy that day, so I couldn't actually access her. So what am I supposed to do? Well, I took myself over to the bathroom mirror and I looked into the mirror. Sounds weird, but it's effective. I could see how sad I was, how frustrated I was. I could look into my eyes and just see, witness, be present with the emotion here. And I said to myself, I'm really sorry that you're so frustrated and sad and overwhelmed and things aren't going right. And yes, you should feel frustrated and angry and sad and overwhelmed and all the feelings. I see you. I care about you. I care about you. I'm sorry. You made a mistake. You got really upset. You were wrong. And I forgive you. And as I looked into that mirror and noticed the other person on the other side was starting to feel comforted by my words, by my intentions, by my expressions of kindness, I could see my eyes begin to calm, and I could start to feel an energy rush over me that was very similar, if not even more effective than when I was actually texting my husband or texting my friend or talking to someone. I took care of myself in that moment. I practiced the self-compassion strategy. So weird, but effective. To look into my eyes and say, hey, you're having a moment. Sometimes homeschooling is hard, like really hard. And it's not because of all the things everybody says. It's not about socialization or finding social opportunities. It's not about finding curriculum or deciding what the right one is. Note to self, there is no right one. Or trying to figure out algebra. Just hire someone. All of those things are not the hard part. The hardest part, at least for me, has been me dealing with my big emotions and certainly knowing how to hold my children's big emotions. So to my utter surprise, this practice, the self-compassionate strategy, was effective and it worked. And I've learned all sorts of other self-compassionate strategies, some of them through Kristen Neff, some of them through a variety of books, some of them through therapy, some of them from other friends, but I'm offering a group coaching opportunity with you to discuss these self-compassion strategies and also to create a general accountability structure so that we can actually practice them. So listen to what other people are saying about having worked with me in varying capacities. Carla says, Teresa's the real deal, an experienced homeschool mom who has been there and can help others get out of their big emotions. Her ability to hold space for silence and difficult feelings makes her no small talk approach so effective. I trust her. Her retreat, her resources, her affirmations have served me tremendously. I'm so glad she's in my corner. Britt says, I recommend this for everyone. I've been making my way through her retreat and loving it. Her voice is very soothing. That is always amusing to me when I hear that. It has been a special time. Teresa is a gift with the best humor. I am so blown away by the care she takes to really get to know who she's mentoring or talking with. It's so rare these days. Britt, too, is rare. A lovely, lovely soul. And Cheryl said this, I feel like you know me. You offered helpful suggestions to rejuvenate and equip any homeschool mom in whatever stage she might find herself in. I enjoyed Teresa's candor and her laughter, your caring and your insights. You've allowed the experiences that have challenged you to be the catalyst to helping others. Amen. This retreat is for anyone who has lost sight of themselves in the midst of living a busy life and wants to refocus on what's truly important. I hope everything you do bears fruit into deflated women like me, changing their defeat into delight once again, or for the first time. I told you at our first session that I was looking for hope, and the tools unpacked have given me hope. I recommend working with Teresa for everyone. Your voice has a soothing quality. I'm sure my kids would agree. It has been a special time. Teresa's a gift with the best humor. I'm so blown away by the care that she takes to really get to know who she's mentoring or talking with. Thank you, Cheryl, a veteran homeschool mom herself. So if you're curious to learn more about the self-compassion group coaching program for the Homeschool Mama, join me.